All right, today I'm going to talk about white balance, levels, and color adjustment layers, color balance adjustment layers. We talked about before how your camera sometimes misjudges the exposure in photographs by using the 18% gray rule. And the 18% gray rule, we know the camera is trying to average the scene to equal 18 or middle gray. Now, this can cause our camera to make bad decisions if there is a lot of white or black in the photo, like this one. Also, we notice when we're looking at this photo that the color is a little off. It's a little warm. We call this white balance. White balance is the accuracy of color in our photo. Each light source has a different color temperature that affects the way your camera sees color. We want to set our cameras to record the most accurate color. Do this by choosing the most accurate scene mode or by setting white balance to match your lighting situation, such as shade if you're shooting outdoors in the shade, or to fluorescent if you're indoors using fluorescent bulbs overhead. Now, in the situation of this photo, our white balance perhaps was not set correctly, or the camera just could not judge because there was so much white in the photo. So this is muddy. We know this already. There's low contrast and it's underexposed. It's also too warm, which we noticed yesterday. The photo has too much yellow in it, maybe a little bit too much green. I'm going to show you two very powerful tools today on how to adjust that. I don't want you to forget about your histogram. Your histogram is the graph or diagram of the exposure in your photo. It's showing you a graph or a diagram of the lights, darks, and midtones. Histograms are used for both black and white and color images. You can use both levels adjustments and color balance adjustment layers to change your white balance in post or post-processing. That's what I'm going to show you today. I have my photo here, and I'm going to open up a new adjustment layer. This is levels. And I have a second histogram here. Here's our histogram showing us our exposure. And now in levels, I have a second histogram. I'm going to be able to change this histogram. There are some very cool tricks here. Over here, these are your eyedroppers. And you can tell Photoshop what you want to be black, gray, and white. So we know we have a lot of white in this photo, so I'm going to click on the white eyedropper, and I'm going to come over here to the white paper and click. Wow, what a big difference. I told this photo what I wanted white to be, and it adjusted the brightness, and it also adjusted the color. You can also do this with black. I'm going to undo this. If you have a lot of black in your photo, come up here and click on the black eyedropper and click on the black spot in your picture. Now it changed the color, but it didn't really change the exposure the way we wanted it to. If you have a lot of middle gray, you can click on the middle gray and click on your picture. In this case, I really liked what the white eyedropper did. Probably a little bit, maybe a little bit too bright. So I'm going to come up here on my slider and I'm going to make it just a little bit darker by sliding it around. I'm going to move my whites slightly over. I think I like that the best. Now, I made it a little bit less bright, but also what I did here is my table got too yellow again. Now we're going to use the color balance adjustment, but I can't select anything here. Here my levels are still here. Click on your background layer to bring back your adjustments panel. Up here, this color balance, the scale, click on that. Now we have these sliders so we can change these colors, and we can also select highlights, which is your whites, your midtones, and your shadows. I really want to change this countertop back here, and that's probably a midtone. So I'm going to click on midtones, It's too yellow. So I want to identify the yellow and I want to slide it to the blue side and take out too much yellow. All right, so now I really like the tone that I have in the background. All right, I have a nice bright white paper. I've taken out the yellow in my midtones, and my color and my exposure are accurate. Now, if you want to, you can go back, click on your background image, and go back into your brightness contrast. I might bring my brightness down just a hint. All right, I really like the way that looks. All right, there's no magic formula for me to give you. You're going to have to try out these different sliders and play around with them and see if you can correct an image. Then what you're going to do, after you've corrected your image, go to File, Save As. We call this White Balance Correction. And it has a PSD file extension because we have layers. That's all right, but I want to pay very close attention to where I'm saving it. All right, right now it's saving into my contrast contact sheet, and I'm going to keep it there for now, or you can make a new folder. If the new folder button is not appearing, click on this arrow right here, and then you'll be able to make a new folder. I'm going to put it in my contrast contact sheet folder for now and save it. You want to click OK. Now I'm going to go in Bridge, and I need to make, here I have my contrast contact sheet. Now I need to make a white balance contact sheet. I want to select my bad white balance, and I want to select my white balance correction. And I'm going to go over here, 2x2 cell, and I'm going to save it. Remember, pay attention to where you're saving it. I'm going to put it in my contrast contact sheet, but I'm going to call it white balance contact sheet, and I'm going to save it. Wow, you can really see a big difference between those two. Go ahead and print that out, make sure your name is on it, and turn it into the turn-in folder. Good luck!